Hello friends, welcome to your weekly prescription with Dr. Ambika Nair, co-founder and chief consultant at Shantigram Group of Companies. They have offices here in New Jersey and also virtual consultation available. And when you reach out to them, they'll get you to the nearest location of their office. Today's topic, what we're going to discuss. For that, let's first welcome Dr. Ambika Nair to the show. Namaskaram, Doctor.
Namaskaram, Madhavi. How are you?
I'm doing very good, Dr. Nair. Dr. Nair, the skeletal system of the body is the base, and on which comes this beautiful body, the skin, the hair, the nails, and everything. But as time passes, the bones become brittle. But there are cases where children or people, babies have brittle bones. Today, let's try to understand what is this condition, why it happens, and where it all starts with. I think it's called osteomalacia, or maybe it has a little more definition. This is a request from one of our parents, and we want to do this today.
Very good. You told the correct name only. That is the real diagnosis. That is osteomalacia.
Okay.
Yeah, it is a bone disease, where you can see the softening of the bones due to deficiency of vitamin D. Because vitamin D only helps the body to absorb calcium, which is needed to make the bones very hard. So the osteomalacia means that is the weakness of the bones, leading to bones breaking down faster than anything else. So it is a disorder of decreased mineralization, we call it as. So the minerals are not being absorbed actually. So in small children, when it comes, we call it as rickets. You can see, like a green stick, when they have little fall, like a green stick fracture. So they're very easy to bend the bones actually. And like in adults also, it can lead to fractures.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, to understand osteomalacia, let's break it down into two parts. One, are we born with that? Is it a condition which comes during the pregnancy and passes on to the baby? Or it is a condition that slowly gets developed into the body?
But very, very few children, if they are born with that, very brittle bones. Okay. But if the mother has any other cancer or thyroid or anything like that, certain genetic disorders also, we can see that.
And what about the second part where it starts?
Second part, because especially in girls, like in the adolescence, you can see children will tell, that we will tell that this is a growing pain. They complain of the pain. So much of fatigue is there. You can see their skin very dark, like skin diseases will be there. And, like a very dry, very brittle nails. You can diagnose them from very far. Even their hair will be very brittle. Yeah, anorexia, a little bit of, less appetite, very tired, fatigue, irritated.
So mostly growing pains also should be paid attention. Now, the third part.
10 to 12 years, that you can see, so that's why we give them milk, that will come to the diet part then.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now the third part of the question would be, is this condition only related to children and growing age till 19 or 20, or it's
no?
No. Okay. So anybody could be
till the last, because we all need bones. We all want, to look smart. So no deformation should be there.
Okay. Now, can you just give a quick rundown with the difference between rickets, osteomalacia, and osteoporosis? I know there are three different vast topics, but to understand basic difference, how do we differentiate?
Rickets will be like a malformation of the bone, that you can see that how the joints will become very big, a chest also, like a pigeon chest and all. In rickets, we can see that. Osteoporosis means degeneration. The bones break very fast actually. But here it is not becoming harder, it is becoming softer. So if you get hit anywhere, if you try to open a lid, some patients will come and tell, like when we were opening the lid, I got a fracture. So you have to be a little careful about that.
That's interesting. Okay, we've heard that often, so that's what it is, osteomalacia. So today we're talking about this program, in this program, about brittle bones, that is osteomalacia. And Doctor just mentioned about that very few cases, children, babies are born with that condition. And sometimes it is over the years you come to know that you have this condition. Now, what are the first few symptoms, apart from, like opening a lid, or especially in the growing years, it's so difficult for a parent to differentiate. You may take the child to the doctor, they give you calcium tablets, but what are the things which you should notice often?
Normally, there is no visible symptom in the early stages of osteomalacia. That is actually more, dangerous also. Most common symptom is, like a pain in the bones, especially in the lower back. Pelvic pain will be there, leg pain will be there, ribs pain will be there. Some children, that they're growing children also will tell that, like I have pain on the chest area and pain in the hips. Some cannot even move on the bed. So like a trading on the bed. So these all, like pain is always more on the night because you're having your activities in the daytime. And you have some children or anybody who has this osteomalacia, they will, complain of burning sensation in the feet also, sometimes in the body also. And more fractures are there in the real, little bit of, the injury means they will have like a fractures, stiffness in joints and tiredness, difficulty in walking. They will tell that I cannot articulate much, we cannot stand for a long time, decreased muscle tone will be there, leg weakness, their gait will be very much, like they cannot walk, so they'll be moving from one place to other. That is also there. Yeah.
These are very, very misleading, confusing, and of course combined symptoms that could be or any reason, because the child is tired after playing, or it is growing pains, or it is just one of those days when the body is just aching because of the position that we are sitting and playing. But I think the constant noticing of the symptoms have to be there for parents to understand what is the frequency of these pains and get it.
Some people will be telling only tingling in the feet, tingling in the hands. And even tingling in the, like lips, they will tell that, some vibration, the tingling in the mouth area, that also, cramps will be there on hand and feet, this all people will be telling. And you can see these people, they may not be exposed to sunlight. That's why in our country, children are allowed to play outside. So we don't have much of vitamin D deficiency in India, I feel so.
Okay.
Yeah.
And over the years, I think with all the products and all the other precautions that are coming, people are not spending too much of time in the sun also. Now, Dr. Nair, let's also understand when you say growing pains and other aspects which happen in children, most of the times we think that children are making excuses until unless we really feel there's a need for attention. So how does the development of the child get affected because of this? Does the height, there are height problems or weight problems because of this?
Normally, you can see that they're very thin, fragile looking children. Yeah, they don't like to eat anything. Their appetite will be very poor, malnutrition, especially these are osteomalacia, and we can see in Africa and all, a lot of children actually, rickets and all, very bad. Okay, but here, but normally, how they will diagnose is that they will take the children to the doctor. So they will go for the X-ray and see that, and bone density and all, then you can see how it is, how bad it is actually.
No, but does the height get affected because of this, or the growth?
Definitely. Height growth will be always affected with this. Yeah.
So in today's episode, we're talking about osteomalacia, and if you have any questions regarding this, please continue to key in here. Doctor and the team would be able to answer that as the program progresses. So, Doctor, we're talking about osteomalacia, and we just came to a phase where we're talking that the growth also gets affected. What is a point where you feel that, there's no U-turn, but constant maintenance of the body is required? What is the worst case scenario if this gets untreated?
They won't be, if they don't treat it, the child will have more issues, because they won't be able to walk, talk, like if anything, that the fracture will be more. Multiple fractures where they will be able to move anywhere.
Okay. So the healing time also for these fractures are longer in such cases?
It will take a long time. So that's why, calcium and giving milk products, diet has to be improved a lot. And their appetites, we have to see that, see in Ayurveda, we will see that how much a toxin is inside the body. That is one of the things. And accordingly, we go with that, we have a very nice Shanga Basmam is there, there are so many medicines, absorbing calcium is there. So it all happens, why the, calcium and, other things does not get absorbed in the body.
That is certain.
So that has to be, so that's why in Ayurveda, do treat for the root cause. Then only things will change. Yeah.
In one of your programs, I think we were doing the program called Matra Jiva Bhiva Mantra, where we are talking about, during pregnancy, what mother has to do and take care, especially with the
Yes,
sciences. I think this makes a complete sense how the combination of the programs are just gelling in.
absolutely. That's why, like if her mother has to be taken care,
Mhm.
her diet has to be, like special diet has to be given, and not only diet, that mental status,
Mhm.
not giving her any worries, so that whatever she produces, that is the child. Child
Yeah.
has to be in a very
Mhm.
better, like a mental and physical status.
Okay. Now let's get to babies. And how soon can you know that a baby is in discomfort? Because if a baby is constantly crying because of pain, we don't know because it's colic or something else, a
Very
pediatrician.
small children means, that fontanelle, we have to see that whether it is, like joined or not. Fielding of the fontanelle, and, like sometimes they cannot fall in, crawl,
Mhm.
movement. So this all, they will be able to diagnose. Actually, parents will be able to diagnose very much better.
They have faster way of accessing that. So you mentioned that the hip joint or spinal cord near the area the pain is more. Is there any effect on your bowel movements or other aspects?
Bowel movement, like because actually if the child is not eating well, because it will be dry only.
Mhm.
So according to the constitution.
According to the constitution.
Okay,
When
that
talk
has to be. So sometimes they will be, sometimes they will have like loose motion.
Mhm.
Sometimes they will have very bad constipation also. Yeah.
There could be an extreme change in because of the
Yes.
diet when they're hungry
Yes.
and whatever it is. You just mentioned the word composition. Now let's understand what kind of body types are these called if they have frequently prone to brittle bones or somebody who has osteomalacia.
Vata.
And when a baby has osteomalacia, how is it different, the treatment compared to a toddler or a teenager?
We have like very nice treatments actually.
Mm-hmm. No, is the mother
So
in
the diet, then
breast milk?
like we have to give to the child, like if that's according to the age.
Mhm.
If it is 1 year, like normally these children will come to us when they are like 1 year and they cannot walk, like they must have gone to all the places. Then only they think of coming to Ayurveda.
Mhm.
Like a calcium
Mhm.
supplements will be, if the mother is breastfeeding, we will be asking her to have a very good diet and change her diet actually, not only good diet,
Mhm.
rich with, like if she is not vegetarian, she can have a lot of sardines, fish, milk, soy, like all the green vegetables, everything, like soy food is, some, like calcium enriched tofu is also there. That all we should give. Salmon, they can take small fishes, like, even fatty fishes, rich with vitamin D, omega-3 fatty acids. This all, like you can always take anything.
And please take all this advice, friends, in the advice of your doctor and with a doctor's consultation, because not every food could be working out to you in the right manner. And we just mentioned about during pregnancy also, a mother has to take care of her food so that, it passes on to the baby. And these problems are not too much crept in unless it's completely not dismissible there. So Dr. Nair, when we're talking about diet, we just mentioned about the mother's diet and also little babies. But as we're growing up, we have these, vaccinations happening, school activities happening, sports happening. How does a child have a wholesome mental outlook when they are going through so much of pain? What kind of treatment or consultation do you provide for such children, or even to adults for that matter?
We get a lot of, this is a very good question you asked me, because actually even like they have undergone so many diagnoses and like that they come to us. So I had recently a boy who was 14-year-old, very active with his basketball and everything. So suddenly, like he developed a pain and he got a fracture on his left hand. Fracture in the sense it was not a full fracture, but the pain was like all the joints were little affected. So he was ruled out for rheumatoid arthritis. So parents were from southern India, so they came to me. Will it be okay? Will it be okay? Like, the concern, because the child wanted to play. So we started, like very nicely, we started Abhyangam. First of all, I started giving him some herbal medication, because actually when I saw him, like he had like his mouth was all like very thickly grayish coated actually.
Mhm.
So Amam was there with his kapha
Mhm.
and with his digestion. He had a lot of backache also.
Mhm.
Okay. So we gave him that like a Snehavanam
Uh-huh.
ghee preparations. So first day, so he was not willing to take. Then I explained to him how to go, how it will go. Okay. Then after 3 days he came to, then Girejana was done. He came to me. Then we started Abhyanga for him with the Piju and all. Okay,
Mhm.
Piju on the joints, and like a kiddy was given to him so that will help him to relieve all the like a toxins from the like a body also, so that his like a pain will be relieved from there. Because actually kiddy means we make the poultice with the herbs. We tie it up, warm it up, and do the parting in the body in a synchronized way. So all the inflammation normally drains out through the lymphatic system, thus
Mhm.
improving the circulation. So it was very nice. So
Uh-huh.
this fellow had like more mucus on the like allergies and all. So I gave him Nasyam also, but he's doing very well. Did like 2 weeks of therapy. He was much better. He started going to school. He started playing. That's what his father came and told me. So, but still continuing with, like I given them medication so that they will be able to like apply at home. Oils are given, and what homework they should do at home also is really entrusted to the parents actually.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That is such an hopeful and encouraging story, and of course, a diagnosis and prescription and treatment that's happening. And that's exactly what it is when we catch hold of the problem in the initial stage. The treatment gets faster and, of course, easier also. Now, Dr. Nair, now you're talking about the student who's also a player, sportsman, and having all those activities. Physical activity is required, balanced, moderated during this because there's pain, and also you don't want to be stiff. How does it work?
Only few days we tell them, by the time, like the maximum like 3-4 days actually, we will restrict them not to. But movements will be allowed, but not to play or, like overdoing the things. Okay. That only restricted. And, diet is also more important. Some children, they like to eat a lot of like a coffee, drink coffee, like a salty food, and all. Salt deprives the calcium contents of the body. Okay. So we tell them not to eat much salt, like the more salt you eat, the more calcium get carried away from your urine. So that has to be taken care of.
Now, Doctor,
low salt diet. Yeah.
Okay. Now we just taken care of the basics of the, babies and adolescent ages. And friends, of course, any problem or any health condition is just not this 20 minutes or 30 minutes of the program. There's so much more that the doctor has to give you more prescriptions or treatment options. Once again, please do not try all the home remedies that I mentioned here on your own. Get a consultation first. So, Dr. Nair, now let's talk about adults, full-grown adults, or middle-aged women or men or senior citizens. How frequent is this condition in for them too, and how is that treated? Is it something the treatment process?
If the hormonal imbalance is there, like in estrogen, see if the girls, I will tell, if their periods are regular, if they are having, like no problem, like during the menstruation or anything, they are perfectly all right. Okay. But if it is not coming in time, we can see that, how the pain comes, more dysamenorrhea, and moving pain in the body. So this all has to be addressed, like a vitamin D deficiency will be there, calcium deficiency will be there.
Okay.
And they have to see that their hormones are balanced properly, whether it is 30-year-old or because 30-year and we don't take care at all at that time because we are thinking we are superhuman beings. Okay, at that day you need more to take care of your body a lot actually. Eat well, whole grains has to be, like broccoli you can have, Brussels sprouts, cabbage. In certain cases, I tell them not to take, but here I will tell them to take it. Okay. Sprouts, beans are very good. Black gram is very good. Chickpeas are very good. Green gram is good. Seaweeds are very good. Honey is very good. Flax seeds are very good. All the nuts are very good. Our what do you call? Our nuts, like peanuts. Beautiful. It contains a lot of potassium, so it really helps to protect the loss of calcium in the body. Okay. Yeah.
So, Dr. Nair, you just mentioned so many, foods that are easily available. And sometimes we all have some pre-existing conditions. So friends, before you try these home remedies, get a complete whole checkup of your body so that you're not, when you take potassium rich food, please get your kidneys checked before that. And don't say that, we just heard it on the Aware and Care and we started taking. So a pre-existing condition checkup is very, very much important before you try any of these home remedies. Dr. Nair, you're just talking about certain foods, and we're talking about women, especially here. Menstruation and menopause both come with its own set of problems. Now, women with menopause, they're complaining constantly of, bone pain, legs not moving, tingling sensation. Is it also the same, or it is just one category of
it is getting into that actually. It can be, like a osteopenia, but starting with the bones.
You leave me speechless because we've covered so many topics, and this seems to be a condition which can hit you at any age group for whatever reason it could be. And doctor, what are these chances of somebody who has had an accident or an injury and their bones have had to go through a lot of healing process and it has not healed completely? And do they also come back with these kind of problems that, the bones
I have seen that in, like a parathyroid cases also.
And what does that mean?
Yeah, because absorption of calcium is not there.
Okay. That's how it is.
And here, like even vitamin K, that they will check it actually what, blood work has to be done, and they will see that what is lacking in the body. Okay. Vitamin K is also needed, vitamin D is needed, everything is needed. And in kidney patients, because you told me that is very interesting actually. Madhavi, thank you. Because in kidney patients also, because losing a lot of urine, they lose a lot of calcium and, like all the phosphorus. And you can see that, their bones are really brittle. Yeah.
They complain more about, backaches and,
Yeah, they cannot move because they don't have the energy. Because actually, see, the whole body is carried. This is our main structure.
True.
Okay, this is the infrastructure, I should say. Mm-hmm. So that if the infrastructure is not there, then naturally you will have more issues.
Now, Dr. Nair, in adults and seniors, when this problem starts creeping in, we tend to brush it off saying that, oh, I'm becoming old. Now, does this pain start usually in the joints, or it could be any part of the body for somebody
joints,
to start recognizing?
Mostly with the, like low back, hip area. We have seen like that. Hip area is more affected actually. And sometimes they will tell, I cannot lift my hands, So this all has to be taken care actually in the proper way. That's why we are doing this Aware and Care program. So we are bringing them awareness. So they will be able to diagnose them properly.
That's true, friends. So today in this episode of Osteo Malaysia, we're talking about brittle bones, and that can happen at any condition from pre-pregnancy, as basically when the baby is being born, it starts developing there for some very unfortunate cases, and sometimes it's over the years it starts up. And we tend to brush them across saying that today I worked hard or today I pushed a table. That's the reason my bones are hurting. But please observe the body, and with changing lifestyles and food conditions and medications, we don't know what problem is creeping in slowly into our system. So Dr. Nair, any treatment processes that start at home for people, who are watching and say, tomorrow I cannot come because I have an exam, but I can start doing this from home today?
No. They can do Abhyangam actually, oleation. You understand? Mm-hmm. Oiling, like that. Any oil, whatever is available, it's not a must that day. Any oil, whatever you have at home, just apply on the body so that you will feel much better. Taking, like a warm water, taking milk, sleeping well, eating well actually, sleeping well actually, and keeping away from stress. Too much, like children sit on the, like not only children, why we all sit in front of the computer a lot. So these are all, because we forget to eat our food in time. Mm-hmm. So more aware. More of it.
A very interesting what I want to share here with our viewers that, one of the patients went to Dr. Nair, and a young patient went to Dr. Nair, and Dr. Nair was very kind enough to have the diagnosis done, and she just sent back the child by saying that just listen to your mom, eat good food, sleep on time. The child was not too happy because everybody expects too many medications. This is a psychological game that's going on.
No. Actually, like some children, like because this is actually very nice thing. Because so many children comes, so I make them understand. I teach them a little bit of Ayurveda, why your body is like this, where you went wrong. Okay, then they will understand. Now I will do like that only. And eating habits, because it is a must that avoid, like they should avoid a very cold food actually, exposure to sun. That is more important. How much he can be in the sun, that is more important actually.
Now with winter coming on, how does somebody take care of their osteomalacia?
Then they have supplements. They can have their good diet, fish oil, green essentials. So everything is available now. And doing little yoga, everyday yoga, oil pulling, everything will support you. And like we take like a curcumin in our turmeric, very nice. Turmeric is very nice. And taking 1 teaspoon of at least castor oil.
Okay.
People will say, oh, no castor oil. I tell them, no, take castor oil. Yeah.
There are two things that you mentioned mostly in most of the programs, which one has been castor oil, the other has been, oil pulling. Now, this seems to be a very nice home remedy that if we start including in our daily lives, I think most of the problems would just be a little more uncomfortable and a little less uncomfortable compared to the serious cases that we are seeing. And the more we were talking about oil pulling, I think one of the episodes we should definitely take these two aspects together and see what advantages we have because of these two.
Yeah, so you always amaze me with the topics.
So Dr. Nair, in today's episode of Osteomalacia, what kind of mental well-being are we talking about? Because we are constantly in the competitive world, and I just mentioned about a small example that we assume and we want our doctors to give us a list of medicines, and there are certain, pardon my saying, friends and viewers and also Dr. Nair, that counseling is important.
Counseling and make them understand you are going to be perfect. Then no, I always tell Madhavi, how much they help, I will help them more.
I'll help them that much too.
Yeah, we give them a very good homework. But less complicated. Okay, yeah.
Dr. Nair, please give me the liberty to share this because I want you to correct this misinformation is there. So when you're talking about this example of the child where the child was, or the patient was told that, good diet, sleep well on time, reduce your phone time, you will be fine. There was a lot of agitation in the child to understand how can this doctor be different to a different other doctor where my friend's doctor gave them 20 medicines. So there's this competitiveness, a different state of mind these children are going through these days.
This actually they asked me, how, first of all, they are amazed about the diagnosis. How do you know about me? I told yesterday I came here home and they explained me. Okay. So I talked, like Nadi Pariksha is more important. So I asked them, from the head I start. Okay. So each and everything when I start, then they will, I tell, if I am wrong, you can correct me. I take them into my confidence. Okay, so, like they will tell everything, yes, you are right, you are right. Some children does not even like their parents to be there. But I call them, because they are young. So we'll tell, okay, you can talk to me, but let me call your parents also. So that is also there. And they agree, Madhavi, they want to be healthy. So they really agree with whatever we say. Nice counseling I give, what they are really doing very well.
So I think, in one of these coming summers, we should definitely have a Shantigram workshop for the kids so that they understand the wellness and importance of the foods that they are eating, apart from what mommy or daddy is telling them or what teachers at school are telling them. This has been a very interesting episode on osteomalacia. Any important points that you want to just add on before we wind up, Dr. Nair?
No, don't feel shy to tell your parents, whether you have any issues, any backache or anything, because then, like the fatigue has to be, parents has to observe also, but they all are it's a rat race these days, so much of running around. So sometimes, when the children grow, they don't, they think that they'll take care of themselves. But if you see that they have the good food, what they are carrying to the school, whether they are eating, check it and make sure that your child is taken care. That is the best thing what you can do, like a gift. Their health only from the parents.
And it's not only about kids, my friends, today, this program is also for the adults on osteomalacia, because doctor did mention during the program, if you missed out, please to rewind and watch the episode to understand that it's not only children, but it is also adults who are affected by this condition. But with age, time, and our lifestyle issues, we tend to brush it off saying that, oh, it had something to do with what I did yesterday, but it could be a slow injection into your body. Thank you so much, Dr. Nair, for today's episode on osteomalacia, and we will take all the inputs that you've given. And for more information and consultation, we will visit you very, very soon. Please like, share, and subscribe the episode. And when you Like, share, and subscribe. You will be the first to know about the episodes and the information. And please continue to share. Thank you so much, Dr. Nair, for today's episode on
Thank you so
osteomalacia.
much.